Hey y'all, welcome to the Feeling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But yeah, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX. And as you can see, we've been trading kind of sideways, right? This 1491 down to 1489 has been a gathering spot for us. And right now, I would watch the 1496 area. We are slightly above that, but price keeps coming back in this area. So this 1496 I would watch as a trouble place or an area of resistance. Again, I would definitely watch the $15 range. Now, if we break the $15 range, we can come back to the 1510 or 1511, which is where this ATR trailing stop and the 50 EMA. So I would watch the VIX to the upside if we continue up above the 1490 or $15 range. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break under this 1489 area, just know that we could possibly have trouble back around 1485 and again at the 1481 area. So what's interesting is that the VIX that came all the way down to this 1460, well 1446, it came down to this area, what we had marked as a previous support area, and bounced from there. So that's why it's so important that we mark these levels pre-market, or just, knowing where your support and resistance is. Right, so let's go to the SPY just to see where we are today. And y'all, I know this SPY chart is really interesting only for me because I trade the SPY often. So I always say, where are our trouble places, right? So as of now, let's see, I'm going to go back to the actual view of that. Okay, so as of now, as you can see, the SPY has been trading in this area here. Let me see. Yes, I'm going to go to a higher time frame. That makes it worse. Okay, so as of now, the SPY pre-market, I would definitely say I would watch the area here. This 560.57 was a high, but as you can see, we've been trading just sideways for a while here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've been trading like sideways for a while with the SPY, so I would definitely watch this area 559.83 and around the let's see, the high of this candle here, about 560.17. So those are areas that I would watch the SPY, because it seems like we're moving sideways, or in this little gathering spot, as I like to say, and we could very well go up or we can go down. So let's see, where are our trouble places for the SPY as of right now. If by chance we break above 560.26, just know 560.46 and above 560.46, 560.57. Now, if we break that 560.57 area, just know 560.87 is within reach. And beyond 560.87, just know we can have trouble here around 561.28. And beyond that, 561.39. Those are going to be trouble places for the SPY to the upside. Now, it looks like we're having trouble, right? So to the downside, where are our trouble places? We are hanging at that 5 EMA, which is around the 559.95 area. However, this area of 559.81 is an area of support for us, which is right where the 20 EMA is, and another support area. So we're going to say if SPY break all of this, right? So if we break under 559.49, just know that we can come all the way back to this area, 559.21. And as you can see, that's where price had came back to here. So again, it wouldn't surprise me to see us back in this gathering spot, and that's around this area of 559.22. So under the 559.22, we can come back to this ATR trail and stop at 558.94, which also is a previous support area for us here. So I would definitely watch this as a strong support area, 558.94. Under 558.94 are trouble places at 558.51. Under 558.51, we can come back to 558.25 or 558.31. I would say from 51 to 31, I would watch those levels to the upside and to the downside for the SPY. Keep in mind, again, we are just moving sideways or just in this zone or gathering spot, and I would definitely say if you trade the SPY today, trade carefully and wait on confirmation. Do not enter your trade unless you have confirmation as to why you're entering, and once it goes against your why, I always say this: get out, live to trade another day, right? So now we are looking at Tesla, and Tesla has been It seems like it closed at 222.72. In pre-market, we are up 226.37 has been the high. We have resistance here at 226.13. Looks like we've broken through that. Are we going to get rejected here and come back down, or are we going to continue moving to the upside? So where are our trouble places for Tesla? As of right now, if we continue moving higher, just know that 227.41 is within reach, and 228.11 we could possibly have trouble there. Beyond 228.11, I have 231.15. We could very well move back to that direction with Tesla. Just keep in mind, Tesla is Tesla. It normally exceeds its ATR for the day. So above 231.15, 232.54 is another area to the upside where we can get rejected and possibly come back to the downside. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break under 224.40, 224.57 area. If we break this area, just know we can find support here at 223.93. Under 223.93, we back here at the 20 EMA, which is right here at 222.87. or the 222.98 area. So I would definitely watch this as a strong support area for Tesla. If we break this 222.98 area, just know it's forming an ATR trail and stop here, and it's really close to the 221.85. So that's going to be an area of support for Tesla, which brings us back to the gathering spot. This where price was just gathered in this area. So my concern would be if we break under the 221.89, 221.89 area, we could very well come back to the 220.35, which is here where price was gathered again. So I always try to find the gathering spot, and that's where price has been gathered and not really moving up or down. So again, I would definitely watch this area of 221.06 and then the 220.35. Those are areas that I would watch for Tesla to the upside and to the downside. Let me see how much Tesla is normally moving on an average per day, and it's $11.60. And again, with Tesla, it could be in either direction, up or down, that $11.60 per day, and that is an average, right? So let's look at AMD and see where we are today. As of right now, AMD closed at 155.28 pre-market. We are up at 158.58. And as you can see, we have, let's see, this area here, we knew that we could have trouble here at this 158.50. We hit 158.58. So where are our trouble places for AMD? If by chance we continue moving higher, just know that we could possibly have trouble 159.18, 159.52, 159.87, and 159, let's see, 160.07. So those are places to the upside that I would watch AMD. Above 160.07, just know 160.24, and again at 160.39. Those are places to the upside for AMD that we could possibly have trouble. Now, if we break under 156.75, which we very well can. Remember, price is gathering in this area, so that is our support area as of right now, 156.75. Under that, I would watch 156.18. If we lose that support, 155.87. Under 155.87, 155.45 could be support for us. And if we break that area, just know 155.10, we could come back and find support here. Now, if we break this 155.10, which is another gathering spot, you see the candles here gathered together, just know that we can come back to the 153.98. Under the 150, let's see, that 155.10, we could have support at 154.73. Under that 154.73, we can come back to the 153.94 area. So I would watch those places for AMD, and just keep in mind, I always try to go and figure out where is the gathering spot, because normally, you want to trade the break out of that area, because if price gathered in this area, it could move up or it could move down. We want to catch whatever direction it goes in, right? So yeah. So let's go to NVIDIA and see where we are today with NVIDIA. It too is moving sideways in this gathering spot. As you can see, our pre-market support here is at 129.19. Resistance is somewhere around, I would say, the 129.99. But as of right now, price was let's say 129.63. So if we break this 129.69 area or 129.71 area, just know 129.95 is going to be a resistance area for us. If we break the 129.95, just know we could come back and retest 131.18, above 131.18, 131.81, above 131.81, 132.28. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside. Above the 131.81, and then 132.28, above 132.29. Let me get my words right. Okay, above 132.28 area, just know 132.86. There we are, to the upside for NVIDIA. So if you trade NVIDIA, I always say y'all trade carefully. Don't rush into your trades and make sure you have that confirmation. Now to the downside, if we break under 129.15, just know that this 20 EMA is at 128.92. Under that, we can come back to 128.48 and 128.39. So that area is kind of close. I would watch that as kind of like a strong support. And as you can see, that's a gathering spot that was created right here. So I would definitely watch this area of 128.45. Now, if we break under the 128.29, the ATR trailing stop is forming here, which is right at the 127.49 area that we had already marked. So that's why I say I always try to keep these. If it's something that you trade, make sure you try to keep those areas to know where your support and your resistance is. That gray shaded area is now an ATR trailing stop that's forming, and we knew that because we just kept that on our chart, right? Just charting 101, let's say that. So yeah, NVIDIA today should be interesting. Again, I would watch the level under 127.37. Just know we can come back to 126.38. Under 126.38, we can come back to 124.95. Under 124.95, 124.41. Those are places that I will watch to the upside and to the downside for NVIDIA. And NVIDIA normally moves $8.22 per day. And that's interesting, that daily chart, we bounced here only to go back up. So we're going to find some resistance at some point. So I would say just trade carefully. We don't know when that will be. Trade carefully, and once it goes against your why, get out. I say that often. So we do have a few inside day candles. I think Palantir was one of those, and we have already broke through that trigger of 32.64 and almost reached that target of 32.81. Now under 31.78, we have a downside target of 30.95. So if you trade Palantir today, I always say trade carefully, right? So now it normally moves about $1.86 per day. So Palantir is an inside day candle. Rivian is an inside day candle. If we break above 1360, just know the upside target is $13.79. Under 13.12, downside target is $13. And yeah, let's see how much Rivian normally moves. $1.01 per day. Again, that could be in either direction. Now, interesting about Rivian is that it is creating a gathering spot for us, so we could move in either direction. Now, the 14.16 is where the 50 EMA is. So if we go up today, looking at it on this daily chart, just know that we can have some trouble around the 14.16 area. So if you trade Rivian today, just trade carefully. I would trade carefully, let me say that. So yeah, today should be a very interesting trading day, let's say that. And I'm going to go back to the SPY just to see where we are for the day. And SPY again is still trading in this area. Let me go back. Still trading in this area of sideways movement. Let's say that. Yes, there we are. So I would say trade carefully today. SPY is moving sideways again. We can bounce, pop back to the upside, or we can come back to the downside. So yeah, I hope this information is very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and very productive day today, y'all. And I always say, if you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We learn and we grow together. And y'all, I always like to leave you with this. Be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.